At the edge of the map, beyond the familiar lines of North America, there exists a land that seems closer to myth than geography, where mountains rise like frozen sentinels and the seas whisper of untamed wilderness. Alaska, a territory of staggering proportions, larger than Texas, California, and Montana combined, is home to fewer than 700,000 people, and for much of history, it remained isolated from the rest of the world. It was never empty, but untouched, a land where indigenous peoples navigated frozen seas and tundra stretching to the Arctic Ocean, living in harmony with a landscape both beautiful and brutal. The first outsiders arrived from the west, Russian explorers and traders crossing the Bering Strait after subjugating Siberia. And in the mid-18th century, Vitus Bering charted the vast unknown coastline under the Russian flag. A fur trade empire followed, stretching from Kamchatka to Kodiak, and settlements emerged along the remote coasts. Among them, on the forested edge of Baranof Island, between snow-covered peaks and a restless sea, Sitka became a strategic foothold in the North Pacific, a place to harvest the soft gold of sea otter pelts that fueled imperial ambitions. The locals, who had lived along these coasts for thousands of years, resisted fiercely, and in 1802, Tlingit warriors destroyed the outpost. The Russians returned 2 years later, retaking the settlement and establishing New Archangel, which became the capital of Russia's American territories. By the 1860s, Russia's hold on Alaska weakened. The fur trade had declined, and the empire's finances were strained. In 1867, the territory was sold to the United States for $7.2 million, a transaction later called Seward's Folly, with the official transfer taking place on Sitka's Castle Hill, where Russian troops lowered their flag and the stars and stripes rose in its place. Surrounding Sitka is the Tongass National Forest, the largest temperate rainforest on Earth, spanning 16 million acres, with ancient evergreen trees such as Sitka spruce and red cedar, some standing for more than 800 years. Rain falls almost year-round, feeding rivers and creating dense undergrowth where lichens and ferns thrive. The Tongass functions as a massive carbon sink, storing 44% of all carbon held by U.S. national forests, making it a critical regulator of the planet's climate. In this forest, bears reign supreme, black bears and coastal brown bears coexisting within miles of each other, and Admiral Island alone houses about 1,600 brown bears. Each summer, millions of Pacific salmon return to spawn in the rivers, and bears gather along riverbanks, consuming enormous quantities of fish to store fat for winter. The remains of salmon nourish the soil, linking ocean and forest in a continuous ecological loop. Bald eagles rule the skies above, their nests massive platforms in old-growth spruce, with mated pairs often staying together for life. East of Sitka, the Endicott Arm Fjord cuts deep into the mountains, ending at Dors Glacier, a massive river of ice 12 miles long, its face towering hundreds of feet above the water, producing icebergs that drift slowly into the sea. These glaciers shape the land and create habitats for harbor seals, offering both nurseries and fortresses against predators. Ketchikan, the first major port for ships heading north, began as a salmon cannery town and grew into a vibrant community with wooden stairways, boardwalks, and historic Creek Street, all drenched by over 230 days of rain annually. The late 19th century gold rush brought another wave of settlers, founding Juneau at the discovery of gold in Gold Creek, followed by the Treadwell Mine, one of the largest gold mines in the world. Today, Juneau remains the capital, enclosed by the Coast Mountains and the Gastineau Channel, with the Juneau icefield stretching above the city and feeding a network of glaciers, most retreating under climate change. The Taku Glacier, once advancing, now shows signs of retreat. And the Mendenhall Glacier, like many, has shrunk significantly over the past century, its meltwater forming lakes and waterfalls such as Nugget Falls, demonstrating the rapid transformations of Alaska's icy landscapes. Skagway, at the northern end of the Inside Passage, became a boomtown during the Klondike Gold Rush. With brutal trails like the White Pass and Chilkoot Trail challenging stampeders, investors constructed the White Pass and Yukon Route Railway, hailed as an engineering marvel, still operational today as a historic route for travelers. Nome, on the edge of the Bering Sea, rose rapidly when gold was found in the sands, attracting thousands of hopeful miners, whose wooden dredges remain rusting in the tundra, echoing a century of frantic prospecting. Anchorage, founded in 1915 as a tent city for Alaska Railroad workers, grew into the heart of the state, surviving the catastrophic 1964 Good Friday earthquake and rebuilding into a city now home to nearly 40% of Alaska's population, with snow-capped peaks visible from nearly every street. South Central Alaska's landscape transitions to farmland around Palmer, established during the Great Depression as part of the Matanuska Colony Project, where glacier-fed rivers provide mineral-rich soil for large-scale agriculture. Hatcher Pass and Independence Mine testify to the region's mineral wealth, although gold mining declined by World War II, leaving historic sites slowly reclaimed by nature. The Seward Highway follows fjords such as Turnagain Arm, leading to Portage Glacier, and through the Anton Anderson Memorial Tunnel to Whittier. A vertical community within a single building where the harbor supports fishing and tourism. Prince William Sound, with 3,800 miles of shoreline, is home to 150 descending glaciers, including the fast-moving Columbia Glacier, and much of the surrounding land is Chugach National Forest, a mosaic of wilderness, recreation, and human activity. Valdez, founded during the Klondike Gold Rush, became a key port and the southern terminus of the Trans-Alaska Pipeline, while Seward, initially a Russian trading post, evolved into a strategic harbor connected to Anchorage and the interior. Kenai Fjords National Park, established in 1980, protects nearly 670,000 acres of rugged coastline and ice fields, including tidewater glaciers like Icy Bay, the Holgate, and Bear Glacier, each telling a story of climate change as their tongues shrink year by year. The Sterling Highway leads to Homer at the end of the road, a fishing town known for halibut and the Homer Spit, a gravel finger lined with shacks where early coal mining gave way to a thriving seafood economy. North of Anchorage lies Denali National Park, home to North America's tallest peak, Denali, at 20,310 feet, where moose, Dall sheep, and other wildlife traverse alpine slopes. Far from the coasts, Fairbanks developed from gold rush origins into a research and education hub, with extreme winters and the aurora borealis lighting up the dark skies. Beyond Fairbanks, the Dalton Highway stretches 414 miles through wilderness to the Arctic Ocean, traversing the Yukon River and passing Atagak Pass, where permafrost and tundra dominate, eventually ending at Prudhoe Bay and Utqiagvik, the northernmost community in the U.S., accessible only by air from Deadhorse. Life here exists at the edge of possibility, with structures on stilts to accommodate permafrost and temperatures averaging minus 20 degrees Fahrenheit. Meanwhile, on the southern coast, bears thrive in Katmai National Park, fishing salmon along rivers like Brooks Falls, showcasing one of the richest seasonal feasts in nature. The salmon runs attract dozens of brown bears, each employing individual strategies to capture fish, creating a spectacular display of predator and prey interaction. Alaska is a land of extremes, from its temperate rainforests to ice fields, fjords, glaciers, and Arctic tundra, inhabited by resilient wildlife and humans alike, a place where history, nature, and the forces of climate intertwine to create a living, breathing frontier unlike any other in the world. A land that continues to surprise, challenge, and inspire with its vastness, raw beauty, and untamed spirit.